Everywhere you go, there's those hidden gems and special activities that nobody knows about. Here's a few activities that I found on Umrah that I think that you should experience that I thought made my trip a lot more fun and a lot more fulfilling. Okay, so there are about 3 or 4 different activities that I think that you shouldn't miss. You don't have to go out of your way to do this, but I think if you do, it's going to make your trip a lot more memorable and more fun. Okay, so the first one has to do with the cleaners at Masjidil Al-Haram. Little do you know that they can really put on a show. Usually we see pictures and videos of them just, doing their task, what they're supposed to do, which is clean. But man, there were 2 different times that I saw these guys and I was like, I think I want to be a cleaner here. Not just only for the rewards, but they look like they're having so much fun. So I was walking, I think on the 2nd floor of the new constructed extension of Masjid Al-Haram. And suddenly I heard, I heard this commotion, and then I saw these cleaners and they were basically splashing water on the floor, and then they were slipping and sliding and scooping and moving that water up and down the floor, the length of the floor, as though they were hockey players. So they splash and then they run and then they slide and they squeegee all this water around, and you can see their faces. It just looked like so much fun, and we all had so much fun looking at them. I mean, I was supposed to be making tawaf on that 2nd floor. I think maybe it was hot during the time that I went there, so I decided to have some shade. I actually lost track and I had to stop and look at them. It was so much fun. That was one of the incidents. If you can find when they're doing that, it's such a show. It's so much fun. It's still such a good memory for me. And then the other time was I was offering prayers on the rooftop, because inside of the masjid sometimes it gets really packed and I don't really like to pray outside or on the part where there's no carpet. I don't know, I'm just not comfortable. So sometimes I go on the rooftop. And so we were on the rooftop. My group was on the rooftop until quite late one night. And so we saw the cleaners again come out. But this time they were on these beasts, I don't know if you've ever seen those ice hockey machines that when they come out and they clean the ice. But yeah, so they brought out these machines. I don't know what to call them, but on the side it said Raptor. So these Raptor things, you drive them and basically it cleans the floor. It sweeps and mops at the same time, I think. These guys are, and they're basically drifting. They were basically drifting on the rooftop of the masjid. So we had a good show with that one too. So we were just chatting and snacking and being like, oh, there goes another one. Oh, there goes another one. So yeah, that was really fun watching the cleaners when they're doing their show, is what I'd like to say. Okay, so that's the first one. Second one is if you have a chance, you have to go to Ta'if. Okay. On the way to Ta'if, there is a place where you can stop to have biryani. But it is a special biryani because it's camel meat biryani. Okay? Don't be grossed out and, just try it. It's really good, actually. I'm not that adventurous, but I tried it and it's really nice. It actually just tastes like mutton. It tastes normal. You won't feel anything. But not only is the food special, but basically everyone comes off of the bus, whoever's with you, they come off of the bus and you go into this little restaurant, and there's 2 sections. There's a section where you're seated on the floor, and then there's another section where you're seated on a table. So I was on a table, and it's a super long table. It's as though it's a long banquet table, and the experience was really fun because what they do is they roll out this big roll of plastic so that it basically covers the top of the table. And then the guy that kind of divvies out the water, he just rolls it down the whole length of the table. I've never seen anyone do that. They just roll everything down, The tablecloth is rolled down. The water is rolled down. Thank goodness the rice wasn't rolled down. Otherwise, it would be all over our laps. But the rice then came on these humongous platters, right? They're just huge. And basically 5 people share one platter, and you just stick your hand in and you just eat. And it's a really nice experience. experience. I think you can find the communal dishes and eating elsewhere, you know, those big plates, but it was that rolling lay, and everyone's like helping each other roll. It's like, yeah, roll, 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 roll. And maybe because I'm so used to living in Asia now, it's just like, oh my gosh, it's just so rough, you know? Oh my gosh, we could have just, you know, helped each other daintily open the tablecloth and daintily, you know, pass on the water bottles. But no, we had to roll everything. Everyone had to roll the water bottles and catch the water bottle. I don't know. I thought that was really fun. It was an experience. It was an experience for sure. So then, after you have your camel meat lunch, you'll probably also be taken to the fruit market. Now, at the fruit market, I mean, that's fun in itself because, look, the pomegranates are so cheap. So these two guys, they had this tree stump, this branch, and they just basically like shoved it into their oven, and that was what was fueling the fire that was boiling the tea. And I was like, whoa. And then they were also I forgot if it was the first one or these guys, there was also grilled corn, and the corn, they don't even like put on like a grill, you know, something that you put on top. They don't even put it on top of a grill. They just like basically stick it underneath the branch. So that was really fun too. And the tea was excellent. I mean, the tea was really good. Those guys must have been like boiling that tea with those herbs for like hours. It was so good. So yeah, go check out the tea shops at the fruit market. Can't miss it. Okay, you gotta have it. So good. Okay, now lastly, in Medina itself, I mean, usually you go to Makkah and then you go Medina, or the other way around, right? So the last attraction that I think that you shouldn't miss is actually in Medina. Of course, we know about, you know, the shopping and everything. Yes, but I would like you to go to the market that's right behind Masjid Quba, okay? And the special thing about that place is because they are selling the dates, the frozen dates. I mean, they're fresh dates, but they're slightly ripe and they're frozen, so you can actually take them home with you. And then there's fresh cardamom. And why do I want you to go to this particular market? Is because of the history. Now, at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, when he migrated to Medina, most of the markets were cornered by the Jews, okay? But the market that was behind Quba, that one belonged to the Muslims. So I have no idea if it's in the same, you know, location, but knowing that, you know, I'm buying these items that, you know, the Muslims back then would have been buying as well, in the approximate vicinity of where they had, you know, where they had their market as well. It just was a wonderful feeling. And the quality of the dates and the cardamoms, excellent. You got to go there. Just have a look. It's just a small market, but it's just something about it just makes you feel really good. Oh yeah, talking about Medina, I really have to give a shout out to my online family who are living there. They actually came out to see me. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for coming out and seeing me and giving me those books, those sajadas, and the cakes. The cakes were so good. I actually got a chance to share with other people in my group as well. I really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, so don't forget, yeah? There's 4 things that I want you to go and experience. First one is the cleaner show. That's what I want to call it, the cleaners show. The second one, what was it? Camel meat biryani. The third one is the tea shops at the Ta'if fruit market. And then lastly is the market that's just behind Masjid Quba in Medina. So yeah, those are some of the hidden gems and some of the places and activities that, you know, I felt made my Umrah a lot more fun and memorable. I would love for you guys to be able to experience those things too. Now, oh yeah, how about you? Have you been on Umrah? Are there any hidden gems that you know about that I didn't mention? Maybe you can write them in the comments below, because if I have a chance, inshallah, to go on Umrah again or to go on Hajj, I would love to take some of your recommendations and go to those places. So yeah, post them in the comments below, okay? All right, so that concludes this particular video. In my next video, and also it's going to be the last video of this mini-series, not Ramadan, and it's going to be the last video of this mini-series, Umrah Reflections. I am going to be giving tips to female travelers. Okay, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum.